With Iraq edging closer to a bloody, militia-fueled war with the Sunni militant group ISIS, every country in the region has their eyes on, and some have their proxies or soldiers poised to fight the Islamist insurgency. What is ISIS? ISIS, an offshoot of al-Qaeda, is considered by the U.S. to be a terrorist organization. Its stated aim is to create a continuous state, an Islamic caliphate carved out of territory in Syria and Iraq. How close is ISIS to achieving its goal? They've gotten a good start. In the chaos of Syria's festering civil war, where over 160,000 people have died, ISIS has established a foothold in a number of Syrian cities and a training ground for their recruits. In Iraq, their lightning raid caught the Iraqi army off guard, ISIS overtaking Iraq's second largest city, Mosul, along with several others. Halting their momentum and reversing those territorial gains threatens to be an ugly, bloody endeavor. ISIS is an extremist group, but they're still Sunnis, pushing for Sunni prominence. So why don't majority Sunni countries support ISIS? For starters, even supposedly simpatico terrorist groups like al-Qaeda don't back their ruthless quest for power. The pink countries on this map are majority Sunni. One of them is Jordan. Let's start there. The king of Jordan, who doesn't subscribe to their strict interpretation of Islam, is, in ISIS's eyes, an infidel. Also, Jordan now has more than 1 million Syrian refugees within its borders. Many of them wouldn't go back to their homeland if that meant living under jihadist domination. Turkey doesn't want such a destabilizing force right on its border either, and the capture of 80 Turkish hostages by ISIS militants underscores that threat. Turkey also supports Iraq's Kurdish population, who run a de facto state in northern Iraq and who've taken the ISIS threat seriously enough to take over defending cities with large Kurdish populations that were abandoned by the Iraqi military. Saudi Arabia, which backs an array of Sunni Muslim rebel groups in Syria and may have citizens funding ISIS, worries that its rival Iran will continue to assist Iraq in its fight against ISIS, which could lead to an Iran-Iraq super Shiite state. So who does ISIS have in its court? As WSJ reports, many Sunnis in Iraq are willing to endure ISIS if it provides the protection their own governments won't. But many Middle East leaders agree on one thing: ISIS redrawing their region's borders would create unacceptable havoc as a home base for Islamic extremists. That's the short answer.